The gentleman to my left is a warehouse worker, so he's a blue-collar savage, and he just recently uploaded a video to YouTube entitled, Be Inspired by the Old Miserable Coworkers. I want to be able to go over this content. I appreciate a lot of what this young brother is saying, and I think it's be a great lesson and a great learning to the fellas that are on the channel today. So without further ado...
What up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Like and subscribe if you're new. Now, today we're going to be talking about why we need to be inspired by people that we work with, especially the older people. And that's really who we want to be inspired from mostly. People in our workforce, the ones that are older, the ones that have been there for a long ass time. The ones that been there for 17 years working in the warehouse. Yeah. Currently, I work in the warehouse right now. I work at LKQ. If you're watching this in a different city or state, you will probably, maybe you have an LKQ out there, but that don't really matter. But what I was thinking about is that sometimes we get caught up in like who we work with and we identify as just another employee that works there. But once you realize that you got a mission, and when you realize that there is a goal outside of this workplace, you have to really be able to fuel that fire with the people that are working around you that have been in the same position for 15 years. They've been working the same dead-end job. You making damn near just as much as them, and they've been here for 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, you know what I mean? And they haven't even, some of them haven't even moved up the corporate ladder. They've been just working their regular position, or they might have switched around. Those are the people that you got to be inspired by in order, and then tell yourself, I'm not going to be like them. Yeah. Because if you don't push yourself towards your goals, let me take a sip of my coffee real quick. If you don't push yourself towards your goals, even at your workspace, you're gonna find yourself damn near being stuck in the same loop. If you don't put no motion towards nothing, you're gonna be damn near stuck.
First off, shout out to this young brother. I love to see young, hardworking men just like him that have a path or a purpose in life, even if that path and purpose is a lot bigger than what they're currently doing right now. But young brothers like this are putting the effort in. They're putting the time in order to make something of themselves now, even if what they're doing now is not related to what they eventually want to do. He's creating a foundation. But essentially what he's saying is to utilize what you perceive as L's from other older coworkers to drive your passion or your purpose going forward. Short break from the content to share very important information. Hackers recently gained access to national public data and leaked names, social security numbers, addresses, and phone numbers of billions of US citizens onto the dark web. Thankfully, I feel secure because I personally use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. Utilize my link in the description box down below for a free 14-day trial. At least in those 14 days, check if you've been compromised. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, a data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, and much more. Again, click my link to try 2 weeks for free. Now that's aura.com/MTR, and that'll be more than enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data has been exposed. And he's absolutely correct. And in fact, when I started my career, I would see in my department, I'd have dudes that were 20 years older than me, and they were only like 2 levels above me. And it didn't make sense to me that they've only gotten 2 promotions in like 20 or so years. What are they doing? And mentally within myself, I told myself to not be like those people. And especially because you could see the tiredness in the way that they would do work. Meanwhile, I was young, spunky, ready to do tasks, yada, yada, yada. And in my mind, my perception was that because I was doing a lot more, I was winning, and it in fact led to more promotions quicker than what was the norm. And within this acceleration, I was surrounding myself with other folks, including those that have higher level degrees. So I became entrapped into getting a higher level degree on top of this corporate experience that I had. And I continued to go forth and to get promotions and to accomplish within my life. But it's funny now that I look back at those people that I saw back then, I begin to understand what they were doing. And frankly, some of those people, and I will say it's more specific to corporate environments, they make enough and they don't need to do extra because they're practicing balance within their life. Meanwhile, them plus their significant other makes enough to afford the kids that they have, the nice suburban house that they have, for him to have a game room in the bottom of his house and to go hang out with the boys on the weekend, and for the kids to be in extracurricular activities. You know, they got a basketball game here and a soccer game here. He's doing enough. So I say all that to say is that within your path or purpose within life, more status, a higher level position, or more money doesn't mean that you're not miserable. So yes, you could utilize what you see other people or perceive other people going through as a drive towards yourself, right? Utilize their losses to learn about how you can win, but also within that, understand what is happiness for yourself so you don't work yourself to death.
On what you've been doing, you're going to be constantly just, all right, I'm working here, I'm around these people, next thing you know, they'll go 1 year. Next thing you know, they'll go 2 years. Next thing you know, they'll go 3 years.
Yeah,
because
time moves quick.
You've just been working, or you might have switched jobs. You might have, it don't even matter if you switch a job. Anybody that you working around, pay attention to who you work with, and like really just analyze like other people's mistakes, because at the end of the day, the people that do work at these jobs for 15 years, 10 years, and they haven't moved up the corporate ladder at least to get like a significant pay raise or something like that, most of the time them people is struggling. Most of the time they is stressed out, miserable. Let me flip my hat so I can see my face.
Yeah, again, I think that it is more true within blue collar positions, but in white collar, I'm telling you, you can have dudes that's making $80,000, $90,000 and they're pressing like 3 buttons a day and they just get to chill. Like, I'm thinking about like IT service departments. You guys would be surprised to see some of the things that I have seen, right? Like, and there's people that I know in my life that have IT contractor positions and they worked 3 different jobs. So they get 3 different salaries, right? 3 different salaries. They're working 3 different jobs, but they can do it at home because they do so little throughout their day. And they're just clicking on buttons on 3 different computers, and they're earning 3 salaries. You are less likely or capable to be able to do that within blue collar positions because it's just necessary that your time is there. It's necessary that your hands are being utilized. And shit, if you're working like an Amazon warehouse, they are measuring you by the millimeter. All right. They got cameras everywhere to make sure, and they're timing you on the amount of time that you get to utilize to use the restroom. It's crazy. But yes, I agree with this brother. If he's talking about, you know, you have your initial license and you didn't work to get your journeyman license, right? To do maybe slightly different, maybe it's more engrossing work, but to make a lot more money for relatively the same amount of time, I understand what he's saying with that one.
Most of the time, bro, some people is stressed out, miserable, bro. They don't like what they doing. They just doing this shit to get by. And then, I mean, when you a young person that's working in like one of these type of jobs, like a warehouse, or you just working around older people, and you kind of making the same type of competitive pay as them, or damn near the same exact thing. Deep down, they really don't like that. They more insecure about it because they realizing, damn, this young person, they've been working here. They working here now. I'm where they starting. And I'm still in the same spot from where they started 15 years later, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They don't really feel good about that. And if you don't put some type of emotion to even the littlest thing, like nobody said that your life going to change overnight. Or of course it ain't going to change overnight unless something like crazy lucky happen, like you hit the lottery or you get some like crazy big shout out or win some giveaway or some whatever the fuck. But yeah, bruh. You got to at least put a little bit of motion into something. That's why I'm even putting effort into making this content that I'm making now, putting these videos out there. Just really kind of getting myself out there and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a little bit motion, baby steps, a little bit at a time. Yes. And if you don't, even whatever you find that you want your niche to be, start putting motion into that. Yes. Start expanding outside of this work shit. And then you're going to really realize that you got a bigger picture going on.
It's so crazy to hear the way that he articulates this, because essentially what he's saying is what I did, right? I was working a corporate job, and I love my corporate job. I love what I was doing. I love the people that I was doing it with. I like the technologies that I worked for. But I kept thinking to myself, what else? What else is out there? So inevitably, I got a camera, and then I turned that camera around, hit the video button, and this was coming up with different content. I had two niches of content that I did before I started to talk about the things that I do right now back in like 2019, 2020. And it's because I took that risk. It's because I said to myself, like, what else is there out there? And I just tried something. It didn't work. Try something else. Didn't work. Try something else. And then it did work. Woke up in the morning from one of the videos that I did, and it had like 10,000 views on it. And at the time, that was insane to me, because every video that I uploaded got like 13 and a half views. You understand me? But he's 1,000% correct. And I salute young brothers that have mindsets like this, because they are comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right? He knows that he's talented. He knows that he has gifts. He knows that he speaks well. So he's throwing up videos up on YouTube and seeing which one sticks. And this one just so happened to stick. But gents, listen to me. You never want to get later off in your life and think about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Shit, I shoulda, coulda, woulda myself and never uploaded a YouTube video and wouldn't be here today able to do this full time and forego my past life within corporate America. And if I never took the opportunity to get down greasy and learn how to do a completely different skill set than what I went to school for, again, I wouldn't be here. But it's all baby steps, just like what he said. Shit, one of the monikers that I started this channel was #progress over perfection. Don't just think you're going to do something new and you're going to be as good as LeBron from the three-throw line. It just don't happen like that, all right? You got to put the 10,000 hours into the gym and doing something as LeBron did on that basketball court, as what your favorite YouTuber did, or your favorite comedian did, or your favorite whatever it is. They put the time in. Let's wrap up.
And you're not going to be like these same motherfuckers that's out here. I think my manager walking over to me now. I don't know why. But you're not going to be in the same position as these motherfuckers, bro, if you stick to your shit. You feel me? But I really just wanted to get this message out there. Not to be shaming anybody who's in the workforce. Or if you are older and you still happen to watch this, it ain't no shame. But I'm just saying, man, keep your eyes on the bigger picture and realize that you don't want to be like the typical that been working here for 15 years.
Big true.
You're going to be sad as when that time come around and you realize that you be doing the same shit. How do you think these motherfuckers is still there all this time? That's because they just kind of fell into the trap, especially the older generation.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers be stuck in that work mindset. They don't even really be trying to expand. They just work, just pay the bills, provide. Most of them don't really look for nothing bigger. That's why they be stuck. Yeah. Some of them motherfuckers be stuck miserable. So yeah, bruh. That's all I gotta say. And I'm gonna just catch y'all boys in the next video. Peace.
Word. Shout out to this young brother. I'm gonna leave his YouTube handle down in the description box down below. Guys, go make sure that you check out his channel. Tell him MTR sent you. Final thoughts. These are wise words. This is solid advice to young men that are seeking inspiration for whatever it is that they do. And the fact of the matter is that this brother, again, here knows that what he's doing right now is a stepping stone. But let me give you guys another point of insight, okay? No matter of what stepping stone that you have within your life, I kind of think of it as like a flip within your life. Right? You could think of it, what can you take of what that you have right now and to flip it into something else later on? How do I take this particular job, this particular skill set, and develop transferable skills that I can put up on a resume, that I can create a behavioral based question or answer out of to be able to talk to an interviewer about how I was able to solution a particular problem within my life? What are the things that you are learning? Keep a book. And I had this book. Maybe one day I'll get up on stream and I'll show you guys. I had a book of skills that I kept. No matter what it is that I did, I always wrote down, okay, I just did this project. What is it that I learned from this particular project? Because you have to be able to sell your skills going into the future. This brother right here, working within a role within a warehouse, he could say that, listen, I had to sell ideas to my management in order to get them to change something within a process, right? It could be something just as simple as that. But if you put motion behind those words and demonstrate to someone else in the future, they may not even be in a warehouse position. Shit, you might be in a call center, right? You get moved over to a call center. After the call center, shit, just like what happened to me. I started in a call center when I was up getting my degree, my undergraduate degree at Penn State. I started in a call center. here goes JP Morgan Chase Bank that was hiring for intern positions within their corporate credit card facility. So I was able to take my call center for credit card experience and then transition that into an internship at JP Morgan Chase in their corporate headquarters for credit cards. I didn't know when I was doing this original job that I can utilize the skill sets there to do something else. But just like this brother was saying, is that it's small steps. You have to at least understand your cone of influence, right? Within that cone, it is generally what you see yourself doing. Now, outside of the cone might be to be an artist. You ain't like art. You never want to do art, right? Like you got things outside of the cone to be an athlete that you don't want to do. You don't have the aptitude or the competency to be able to do. But what's inside your cone of influence of things that you have particular high competency for? Begin to work in little organizations, begin to work in developing your skill set within that cone. And then you'll find out later on. And as you do that, you are developing skill sets to get somewhere that you actually want to go. But all right, guys, I can ramble on and on regarding this. But I'll stop the content right here. Again, shout out to this brother. Link to him down in the description box down below. Guys, what do you guys think about the content? Have you been inspired by those within the workplace that just seem to just be chilling? Write me your stories down below. Let's have a conversation about it, and I will see you soon. Last but not least, my men's self-development community. Link to it down in the description box down below. Beam in, click up, see the conversations that we are having, contribute if you feel so inclined, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.